Let's first of all read verse 9. Jesus said to him, now that's to Philip, have I been so long with you, yet you have not known me, Philip? He who has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, show us the Father? Verse 10. Do you not believe that I am in the Father and the Father? So Jesus was explaining a union between himself and the Father. I'm in the Father in me. The words I speak to you, I do not speak of my own, but the Father who dwells in me. So when he explains I'm in the Father in me, he goes further and says the Father who dwells in me. That means he uses the indwelling of the Father to explain the union with the Father. So if I say, when I say I am in Christ and Christ is in me, and you say, how is that possible? Because Christ dwells in me. Jesus said, I'm in the Father in me, and he says, this is because the Father dwells in me. All right. So we have seen that. So when we move on now, again, we're still in John 14.
Yeah.
Now look at verse 16. Verse 16. And I will pray the Father, and he will give you another helper that he may abide with you forever. So he said, he will give you another. The very fact that he used the word another means that there was one.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, please. Now the word another that he used here is the word alone, or allos, A-L-L-O-S, which means another of the same kind.
Yes.
All right? Or you can actually just say the same kind. All right? The other word for another in the Greek would be heteros, which means a different sort. So here he's dealing with the same sort, the same kind. So he said, I will give you another helper that he may abide with you forever. So we'll probably ask, okay, do you have one before? Yes. What are you giving me again? You know, look at what he says. The Spirit of truth. That's the another helper. All right, the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive because the world does not see him nor know him. So it gives them a precedence. The world does not see him. The world does not know him. That means who I'm about to give you is who you see and who you know. The world does not see, the world does not know. But you know him, for he dwells with you. In the present tense. That means they are getting it now. That means the help I want to give to you dwells with you. Yes. But in the promise I'm making, he will be in you. So the question is, who dwells with them that the world does not reckon with, but they reckon with? Jesus himself. He dwells with them. He's with them now. The word became flesh and dwelt among men. But what will happen now in the promise is he will now be in them. Then he continues, I will not leave you orphans. The word orphans there means I will not leave you without a father. I will not leave you without a parent. I will come to you. So he explains fathering already. In explaining fathering, he's saying the Spirit of truth that will come to you will father you. I will not leave you father. That means the giving of the Spirit is supposed to give birth to a new man. So there will now be fatherhood and sonship because I will give you the Spirit. I will not leave you without a father. Verse 19, a little while longer and the world will see me no more. That's physically. Yes. But you will see me because I live. You will what? Live also. Again, verse 20, at that day, you will know that I am in the Father. What will now happen at that day? At that day when the Spirit he promised, the helper will come. Yes. At that day when you will not be fatherless because there will be a fathering. Yes. What will happen at that day? You in me, I in you. So when the Spirit comes to us, it now brings us into that union with Christ. You in me, that is Christ in us, and us is in Christ, is done or made possible because the Spirit will now dwell in us. Are you following what I'm saying? So the indwelling of the Spirit is what God gives us at salvation that fathers us. So when John 3 says born of the Spirit, the way you are born of the Spirit is that you receive the indwelling of the Spirit. It now brings you into a union with Christ. Christ in you and you in Christ. This is done because the Spirit is given to you.
So it's a present day reality because we have to